Later, Pope. Hey everyone, welcome back to Danda's Korea. Happy Saturday to you and happy belated Chuseok. For those of you who are not in Korea and don't know about it, Chuseok is like Korean Thanksgiving. I was pretty exhausted the past couple weeks from working on videos, full-time job. Plus, I got some pretty heavy news from back home. Sometimes it's not easy living 11,500 kilometers from home. I wasn't really in the mood for a trip during Chuseok, so what I did was I stayed home. I watched about 15 movies on Netflix. I ordered a couple pizzas. I took naps whenever I wanted, and I even read a book. But it is the weekend again, and I do want to go on a trip. I won't be going far, but I will be going on a religious pilgrimage. Well, not really. I'm just gonna visit a temple, and there's another spot where I'm gonna try and find some Buddhas that are carved into a mountain somewhere. I don't know much about it. Let's go down to the fridge, and I will show you on the map exactly where we're going today. Cheers. I was looking at this the other day, and I saw Sudeoksa, a temple. And this one here, I don't know what it is, Seosan Rock Carved Buddha Triad. As for a place to stay, I've already stayed in Seosan. I'll be looking at either Dangjin, Yesan, or Hongsong. That's the plan, or somewhat of a plan. I gotta pack up the bike, then we'll get on the road. There's been a little snag. I packed up the bike, and I went to start it. My battery's a lot lower than it usually is. I don't think I'm gonna risk being on the road and having a bad battery. So, I guess it's gonna be a van trip. All right, we are at, this is a hard one to say, Maeyore Samjeonsang. This is a nice little spot, and you can get lunch. Summer is officially over. I'm still in shorts, but temperature has finally gone down. We are now in my favorite time of year actually in Korea, the fall. If you saw my last video in Jeju, all that hiking I did, it really inspired me. I'm gonna get out more this fall and do some more hiking through the mountains because this is really nice. That's what we're going to see. Rock carved Buddha Triad in Yonghyong-ri, Seosan. That took a lot less time than I thought. It's literally just off the road. You just go hike up some stairs. It said on the sign that it was carved in the late Baekje dynasty. Traffic jam. That's it. We're almost back to the car. I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do, and then I will see you guys at that time, because right now I don't know what I'm gonna do.
12 seconds later.
Actually, I do know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go check out these chickens over here. There's a lot of chickens, or roosters, hanging out by the river. I know why the roosters are hanging out by the river, because we got a chicken restaurant right here. Back in the car. Bye, chickens. That in front of me is a manure truck. The smell is overwhelming. Ah, love being in the country. I don't know where I am. I got in the car to search for motels that were nearby. I was expecting to be sent in the direction of Seosan or Hongsong, but the closest ones were only about 8 kilometers away. I don't know what town this is, but on the drive in, I did see a wall, like a fortress wall going around something. I'm gonna go in, get on my phone, and figure out exactly where I am and what that wall was. I'll check in with you guys once I know where I am. I found out where I am. I'm in a place called Haemi. That wall is called 해미읍성. Car's parked for the night, so I'm gonna find a convenience store, grab a beer. Let's just enjoy small town life for a few hours. All right, cheers everyone. So driving in here, the landscape was a lot different than what I'm used to. Usually there's mountains and lots of trees. This was all like green rolling hills. It looked kind of like the Shire from Lord of the Rings or Little House on the Prairie. It was quite nice, so I stopped and I flew the drone. looked up this walled town. 해미읍성 walled town was established 1491. Its perimeter is approximately 1.8 kilometers. Oh, so it's pretty short. Through restoration and purification projects, its old image has been restored as a historic park, and it is famous as a site of Catholic martyrs in the late Joseon era. Interesting. During the persecution of Catholics, many Catholics from Chungcheon-do were forced to come to 해미읍성 walled town. Upon arrival, they were tortured to death. Approximately 1,000 people are recorded as having been executed during the persecution in 1866. The plaza inside of the fortress has a prison site where Catholics were chained up under the Daewongun government. The stones which were used for thrashing are located outside of a fortress gate and have become a holy place. I had no idea. They used to torture and kill Catholics here. Anything else here? Horseback riding, archery, Korean wrestling. I didn't know there was such a thing as Korean wrestling. 해미읍성. I didn't know it existed until about an hour ago. The entire town of 해미읍, I don't know if it was called that back in the day, but the entire town was within these walls. And obviously since 1491, the town has expanded. So I don't think anyone lives inside the walls now. I think he's sleeping. That would be for trying to get over walls, I guess. Pull on the rope and that thing goes up and over the wall. There's kind of a locust tree over here. What does a locust tree look like? Everyone's just out picnicking, having a great time. Is this a locust tree? Is this what a locust tree looks like? So I think everyone in Korea 500 years ago was a whole lot shorter than they are now. They had to be to fit in those doors. Ongi. Instagrammers. Let's see if I still got it. Yeah, I'm not going to include that in the video. This was the prison where they would keep the Catholics, I guess before execution. Holy moly, I had no idea this part of Korean history. I'm gonna do some research tonight and find out more about this whole Catholic persecution thing in Korea. I had no idea. We've got an archery range here with a walking path right beside it. That seems quite dangerous. 10 arrows for $3. I might have to give it a go. My nephew's gonna love this. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Okay. This one's for you, Tucker. It's not my first time. I did this a lot when I was a little kid. But it's been a long time. These things aren't very powerful. That was awesome. She scored one on mine. All right. Go get him? I really hope no one's shooting behind me. There's the competition. One arrow on the board. Here's mine. Not too shabby. No bullseyes though. I understand why they can be okay with having a walking path right beside this shooting range. These arrows are not going far. I don't think they have the same power as the ones they used to use back in the good old days, the Joseon dynasty, but it was fun. I don't get to shoot a bow and arrow very often. I did a lot as a kid. My dad gifted me a kid's compound bow when I was, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12. So I used that in the backyard quite a bit. It's since been passed on. My mom asked if I could pass it on to my nephew. So Tucker, enjoy that bow. I know you're not quite big enough and strong enough yet to pull back on it, but start lifting some weights and you'll soon get there. This is such a lovely place. I'm so happy. The GPS took me to a motel in, where are we? Haemi읍성. All the signs say Haemi읍성, but on the maps, it said 해미읍성. Up and myeon and she are all like titles for cities or towns. I know she is bigger than up. I'm not sure if myeon is bigger or smaller than an up. I'll have to look that up. If they're flying kites in the air, why can't I fly a drone? Some of these Korean streets on these little towns have not a lot of extra space for pedestrians. I really like this place. It has a real small town feel to it. A lot of these other small towns I go to, they still kind of have the feeling of like a small city. This one doesn't. I think it's because there's no tall apartment buildings. Everything's low to the ground. Anyway, it was a total surprise that 해미읍성. I'm glad I found it. It would be a nice place to take a date. I'm gonna go back to the motel, freshen up, charge up some batteries, and head out and look for some dinner. I freshened up, and by freshen up, I mean I drank 2 beers and moved footage from the camera to my computer and started editing. That's how I freshen up. I think what I'm gonna do is look for some takeout chicken. Oh. Looks like Haemi's a happening place. All right, I'm gonna try this place. 안녕하세요. 메뉴판? So I got a couple minutes to wait before my food's ready.
All right, guys, this is my night. It's gonna be a good one. See you tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. I woke up to, it wasn't shocking, but it was not good news. I'm not gonna get into it, but I just wanna say to everyone back home that I'm thinking about you and I wish I was there with you guys. I can't be, and I apologize for that. It's around 11 o'clock. I'm gonna get a coffee, do a little bit of reading on this temple we're going to, and I found out that there's another place around here. There's this shrine to Catholic martyrs somewhere around here. Oh, look at all these bikes. It's a nice day. A lot more blue sky today than there was yesterday, so that's good. I'm doing some last minute cramming before I take you to this temple. All kinds of information coming in. I might just show you the place and leave out a lot of the details because there's just too much information to go through. And my brain's just not focused right now. Enough cramming. I have been to a few different temples in Korea, but none like this. This almost feels like a theme park. All kinds of restaurants and cafes and Harleys, a ton of people. Let's go check out Sudeoksa. What kind of temples have twosome places and convenience stores? I wasn't expecting this at all. There's more cafes here than there is in my neighborhood. And there's a lot of cafes in my neighborhood. Well, this place is a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be. You need a map to find your way around. So it looks like you can do a temple stay. For those of you that don't know, temple stays are like a weekend program where you sign up at a temple and you go live like a monk for the weekend. I've never done it. It is on my list though. That guy's playing guitar, but he looks really angry. I thought music was meant to soothe the soul, not anger it. Peekaboo. Now that's the kind of Buddha I'm familiar with. Happy, smiling, big belly. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I would love nothing more than to fly the drone, but I don't think I could get away with it here. I don't want any angry monks coming and yelling at me. But I believe this one is the oldest wooden building in Korea, built in 1308. Okay, I'm not gonna go in with the camera. Actually, I'm not gonna go in at all because it says no pictures and people are like doing the bowing thing. I peeked in, I can tell you there are 3 golden Buddha statues in the center. Does anyone know why Buddha's ears are really, really long and droopy? Is that just what Buddha looked like? Did he have long droopy ears like a grandfather? Sudeoksa, very pretty. I was not expecting something that big. Most of the temples I encounter are on mountain hikes and they're quite small, maybe 4 or 5 buildings in total. This one had quite a bit more than that. But this one also, I guess, has a lot more history because it was, I think, one of the very first temples in Korea. I just ordered sunchae bibimbap and I got all this. Bon appetit. Woo-wee! I am full. I'm gonna get in the van, look at the maps and see where this shrine is. If it's on the way, I might stop by. I guess this weekend is turning into some kind of religious pilgrimage. I'm at this Catholic shrine. Funny. I see lots of statues around this place. Okay, this is the quick version. French priests arrived here in the late 1880s using the waterways to spread Catholicism inland. The shrine of Solmoe in Dangjin, which is where we are now. Solmoe means a little hill with a pine forest. That looks like a little hill with a pine forest. Is the birthplace of Saint Andrew Kim Dae-jeon, the first Korean Catholic priest. Kim was hanged. The first Catholic priest in Korea was 25. He was priest for 13 months and then they killed him. Here's a interesting little tidbit of information. I know I have some subscribers who are Korean Americans. I've had the pleasure of chatting with some of them. So for you guys, this is interesting. 29% of Koreans consider themselves Christian, but 71% of Korean Americans call themselves Christian. So there's a larger percentage of Korean Christians in America than there is in Korea. I didn't know that. The Pope visited Korea. I don't know if he came here. Maybe he did. I should look that up, see if the Pope's actually been here. Speak of the devil. Look who it is. That would be Pope Francis, I believe. There's some nuns drinking coffee. Are nuns allowed to drink coffee? I know there's a bunch of stuff they're not allowed to do. I guess that's the end of my weekend. So I will say goodbye. Before I do, I want to say thank you to everyone. Dan is Korea just hit 2,000 subscribers this past week. I don't know what to say. I just thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. Thanks to anyone who's reached out and talked to me. If you guys do want to chat, look me up on Instagram. I also want to apologize if I didn't seem to be my regular chipper, goofy self. I've had a lot of stuff on my mind from back home, so I apologize for that. I promise I'll be back to my regular self next week. Thanks guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon on the next Dan Does Korea. Cheers. Let's say goodbye to the Pope. Later, Pope.